When I started this Pokemon card channel, it was not something I did willingly, to be honest, which is a crazy thing to say on your own YouTube channel, but it is the truth. Originally, all I wanted to do was have a Pokemon card business. Um, yeah, just have the Pokemon card business. That's all I wanted to do. Then, with minimal research, minimal digging into small businesses, you quickly realize that you need a bunch of cash for marketing, which who knows if that's actually going to work or not. It probably works to an extent, right? But you got to market yourself. What's the best way to market yourself as a small business? I really couldn't think of any other way besides making YouTube videos. So I reluctantly started this YouTube channel because I wanted to run a Pokemon card business. I wanted to start the business right away. I decided that that's probably not a great idea. Best thing to do is to figure out how to do YouTube. So I started the YouTube channel. I didn't have the business started yet because, again, I'm waiting to kind of figure out YouTube, work out the kinks, figure out how to edit, all these things I had to learn, right? So I did market videos and news videos, and occasionally I'll probably still do those because I do enjoy them. Like those are things I'm going to do anyway, so I might as well record it and put it up on YouTube. But the original idea was just have a Pokemon card business. So doing the content side, I actually didn't really want to do it first. Um, but I've grown to like it, to be honest with you. I enjoy doing it now. So I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad I started it. Um, but in this video, I kind of wanted to talk about YouTube content, how it relates to my Pokemon card business, and kind of where I'm going to go from here with it, and how different it's almost like when you're making YouTube content. Yes, if it's, I should say, Pokemon YouTube content, it's all under the umbrella of Pokemon, but there are so many different niches inside of Pokemon that I think certain audiences, depending on what types of videos you're making and what kind of types of audiences you're bringing to your channel with your content, could affect your business positively. I don't know about negatively, maybe negatively, but we'll get into that and different types of content and how it's actually within 2 or 3 videos affected my business already. So first off, starting the YouTube journey, let's say, was tough. It was rough. Talking to the camera for the first time was super awkward. I still don't feel that comfortable doing it, but it was really, really awkward. It's surprisingly really hard the first time I did it. So started doing the market videos, started doing the Pokemon news videos. Still enjoy doing that. Still enjoy looking at those things. I'm still currently like keeping up with the market and the news and all that stuff anyway. Um, but like, man, content was, you think you're just going to plug, your camera in, hook your phone up, and then just start recording yourself. And you're like, oh yeah, I can talk. I can do this. Not that simple. Surprisingly, not that simple, especially for somebody like me. Like I've never been on camera before. I wasn't in, I don't know, show choir. I wasn't in front of people speaking besides like a couple public speaking classes in college. Right. So it was very hard. And one of the hardest things was, I guess I wouldn't call it really hard, but editing is not easy, especially if you've never even opened an editing software in your life. So I think I've mentioned this before on the channel, but I uploaded like 20 plus videos that were not fully edited. And it's like, the content itself was kind of terrible anyway. I'm always going to preface by saying I still obviously have not figured out this YouTube thing yet, but I at least feel more comfortable doing it now. And yeah, uploaded like 20 unedited videos. The thumbnails were worse than they are now. Just all these things, right? And slowly figuring that out. So I'm glad that I put the hold on the Pokemon card business until I could figure out how to market myself in a reasonable way here on YouTube. So again, started with the market videos, and then it got to a point where I said, okay, you just have to start the business because you can't wait forever to start the business. Just start the business. So I had like the LLC like ready to go. I had all my, I had my county vendor's license. I had all these things ready to go. Had all my supplies ready to go. Just hadn't bought the product yet. So I bought the product, started making videos about my Pokemon card business. So, and then I got to be honest with you. I don't know if it was because the Pokemon business side of YouTube can bring more viewers. I don't know if more people are interested in that type of content right now. Maybe I don't know. But one of the videos I did recently did really well for me, and like the best video I've ever done. So I was like, okay, well that's interesting because I've only made 2 or 3 videos about my Pokemon card business, and one of them was the best video I've done. So I was like, okay, either maybe I don't know, maybe I seem more passionate in those videos because originally it's kind of the only thing I wanted to make content on was the business, but I didn't start it yet, so I couldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, that video did well, and it brought a good amount of visitors to the website. So I guess my next question was the question to myself at the time in my head was, okay, am I going to keep grinding Pokemon card videos, or am I going to keep trying to mix in other content that I've been doing, following market, following sealed and singles prices, talking about the news? Because again, I enjoy those things anyway, and I'm doing those things regardless if I'm making a video on it or not. But I guess the next point I wanted to make was I feel like there's a couple different types of people who watch YouTube videos. Some of those people are more serious than others. I would say, when I say more serious than others, I mean maybe more serious in certain ways than others. Like, I don't know if I made a video about Pokemon news and I shouted out my website, ChasePacksTCG.com, by the way. And I shouted out my website in just a general video about, I don't know, news off of Poke Beach, because where else are you going to get the news from about, Abyss Eye, Pitch Black, Chaos Rising, Perfect Order, whatever it is. Even if it gets the equal amount of views as a Pokemon card business video, which is very like, you make it deliberate that this is about your Pokemon card business, or at least surrounding the business in a certain way. Like this one is, we're talking about content surrounding Pokemon card business and how it may affect or not affect your business. So it seems like to me that if you're making content specifically around your business, that almost brings in like a more serious viewer in a way. Like, I started my business a while ago and I had some videos that did reasonably well, but they didn't bring one viewer to my visitor, I should say, to the website. But recently I've been making business videos and they're actually bringing visitors to the website. So it's interesting. It's almost like they're completely two different audiences, which in some ways they are. Like a lot of those market videos are like collector investors. And obviously, yes, they buy Pokemon cards. But it's like when you make business content, it's especially when you're like starting off like I am, it's almost like people are watching. Well, they could be watching for many reasons, but if they continue to watch and continue to watch you, maybe solely for the reason to watch you grow and they want to follow along with the journey, right? Those people seem like they might be more supportive in the long run with my business. Maybe I don't know. I mean, it's tough to tell, but it's very noticeable in the content and the types of videos I make. And I guess another thing I should say is that, I'm well aware that there's plenty of YouTube channels out there who don't talk business at all. Like there's a lot of drama channels out there, right? There's just people who talk about the news, they talk about their collection, all these things. And they have good amounts of subscribers, views, all these things. And they could not talk about business at all and get plenty of sales just because people watch them every day. They love their videos. They've, grown attached to seeing them, on their phone, on their desktop, on their laptop. So yes, I know that you don't have to run a Pokemon card business and talk business to necessarily have a successful business. All I'm saying is, I think, especially when you're starting out and you're smaller, right? Bringing the right content to your channel for your specific, desires, like mine would be running a successful Pokemon card business, pushing out, certain types of content to reach that goal, I think is something I'm just thinking about more often is all. And another point might be, a lot of the people who are kind of looking at market videos or news, they might be just like pure collectors. And if you're, quote unquote, shilling your business on your YouTube channel, that could turn off like a certain audience on PokeTube. If you're talking about this and you're talking about certain things and you're not making it very specific that you run a Pokemon card business and that this whole channel is based around business, then I think that could turn off a good bit of viewers to the point where they're like, oh, well, you're not pure in this way and you're not pure in that way, and you're just trying to make money. So that turns off a lot. That's not everybody. There's plenty of collectors out there who are fully willing to support you and your Pokemon card business, I'm sure. Um, but it wouldn't be surprising if that was the case for a significant amount of people. But it was just an interesting question I posed. The content has been fun for me. It's making Pokemon card business content. It's probably more fun for me and engaging for me because the business side was, well, the Pokemon card business was the reason that I started this YouTube channel in the first place. So the fact that I'm now getting to do the types of videos I've kind of really always wanted to do, uh, it's exciting for me. It's more, I don't know, I'm more passionate about it because I'm more passionate about, honestly, obviously, about the business being successful over top of the YouTube being successful, if you know what I mean. Like, yes, they kind of go hand in hand, but if my business was reasonably successful to the point where I was happy with it, but say I only capped at a certain amount of subscribers, I'm cool with that. Some people would rather have, I don't know if they're actual business people and they really want to run a business and be successful, then yeah, yeah, they're going to want the business to be successful, obviously, and the subscribers aren't going to matter as much. But a lot of people would, I can see a lot of people would much rather have this many subscribers because I don't know, maybe it's an ego thing, maybe it's, who knows, fill in the blank. And I'm well aware that a large amount of subscribers will, as long as there's people like you, right? As long as you're making content that they enjoy and they're not like hate watching you. As long as if you have a bunch of subscribers, people are going to come to your store and they're probably going to buy stuff from you, right? Because if they subscribe to you and they watch you, they probably enjoy you. But all in all, I guess this video was me just going through my thought process from the beginning to now of how I was going to navigate the content on this YouTube channel. I just find myself more and more making and wanting to make and thinking about ideas for videos for the business side of the channel. So that's really where I'm sticking to now. You guys let me know down in the comments if you're running a Pokemon card business, if you want to, or if you have a Pokemon channel, how do you navigate this? Because other than like kind of news, the market, the Pokemon business side, I know business can be niched out as well. How do you navigate how you want to upload videos? When, what are you going to talk about in your videos? I've recently kind of been struggling because I kind of wanted to stay at a point where I was mixing in the market, mixing in news, and mixing in business. But now I'm to the point where I almost just want to make videos only about my website, only about my business, not about my website, about the business and, how that's going and just solely based around the business. Not that I think that's a bad idea. Obviously there's tons of successful channels out there and the only thing they talk about is the business side of it for sure. But, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you run a Pokemon card business, you run a YouTube channel, how do you navigate the content? Do you notice that there's like certain videos bring certain audiences to you? How do they affect your business? Let me know in the comments, guys. If you're enjoying these videos, leave a like, subscribe, all the good things, and I'll catch you in the next one.